This is a direct update for everyone across Australia. As of December 2025, brand new driving law changes have officially taken effect, and the new penalties are far from minor. Authorities have confirmed that drivers caught breaking these updated road safety rules can now face fines reaching 3,150 Australian dollars, with some infractions also carrying licence suspensions or even court appearances. This isn't a rumour or a pilot scheme. These rules are active nationwide, and enforcement has already begun. Whether you live in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide or Perth, the message is clear: the era of warnings is over. Australia is entering one of the strictest road compliance phases in decades. Officials have described these measures as a complete overhaul of how Australian drivers will be held accountable on the road. The new penalties are part of a coordinated push to lower accidents, reduce distracted driving incidents, and standardise enforcement across states. Many Australians remember how past safety campaigns started softly, with leniency or grace periods. This time, there's no such window. Drivers who fail to adapt right away are being hit with fines instantly, and thousands have already received notices under the December law package. At the centre of the change are several key updates that target driver attention, vehicle condition, and compliance with mobile phone restrictions. Authorities say these fines are not meant to be revenue raisers, but rather a strong deterrent. However, the public response has been mixed. Many citizens, especially pensioners and low-income drivers, are worried the $3,150 fine could devastate monthly budgets. For older Australians relying on the age pension or fixed income, a single fine of this magnitude can wipe out essential funds for food, medication, or rent. State police agencies have made it clear that these penalties will apply to all age groups equally. Yet some regions are offering education sessions for senior motorists to help them understand what's changed. It's part of a new road safety awareness program being rolled out alongside the fines. Officials say that for many older drivers, small mistakes, such as touching a phone at a red light or misreading a new road sign marking, are leading to unexpected tickets. The government claims that clearer signage and public awareness campaigns will reduce confusion, but drivers must still take personal responsibility. December 2025 marks a turning point because these rules were passed earlier in the year, but only came into effect now. Transport departments have confirmed that the biggest penalties fall under what they call Category A high-risk offences. These include distracted driving, dangerous overtaking, ignoring new mobile use bans, and operating vehicles deemed unroadworthy. Each offence can now trigger a penalty up to $3,150, depending on the state or territory, and repeat offenders face additional costs and licence demerits. In some regions, like New South Wales, the combination of fine plus demerit points can easily result in a suspension even for first-time offenders. For older Australians, this is particularly important to understand. Many seniors drive shorter distances, perhaps just to the shops, the doctor, or to visit family, and may not always stay updated on evolving road laws. These new rules include subtle but critical updates that affect how drivers should behave at intersections, pedestrian zones, and speed change areas. The government has emphasised that ignorance of the new rules will not exempt anyone from penalties. That's why senior advocacy groups have urged all pensioners to take a short refresher on local driving laws this month. Even a quick review could prevent a fine that would otherwise eat up half of one's pension check. The push for these changes began after a nationwide audit revealed that a large portion of road accident fatalities involved distracted driving. Analysts found that mobile phone distraction accounted for an alarming percentage of incidents, especially in urban centres. As technology became part of daily life, more drivers were glancing at navigation apps or quick messages, small actions that lead to major consequences. The $3,150 fine serves as a shock measure, a way to remind drivers that using any handheld device, even momentarily, is now among the most heavily penalised offences in Australia. Another major reform under the December 2025 package involves compliance cameras. Across the country, advanced AI-based road safety cameras have been activated to detect driver behaviour automatically. These cameras can spot mobile phone usage, seatbelt violations, and even erratic lane movement from high angles. In some states, these systems operate 24 hours a day and do not require visible flash units, meaning drivers can't rely on the usual speed camera warning signs to know they are being watched. Enforcement agencies have confirmed that these new detection tools are calibrated to issue automatic fines, which are then verified by trained reviewers before being mailed to the vehicle's registered owner. The introduction of AI detection marks one of the biggest technological leaps in Australian traffic enforcement. It also explains how the government can issue such large fines, because the evidence captured is high resolution and legally admissible. For instance, a photo clearly showing a driver holding or touching a phone at a stoplight is enough for an automatic fine under the December rules. Many drivers are discovering that even simple habits, such as adjusting navigation at red lights, are now treated as offences equivalent to moving traffic violations. As the fine amounts climb, the government has also made clear that failure to pay within the designated window could trigger further penalties. Those who ignore or delay payment may see the total rise beyond $3,150 with late fees, administrative charges, or court-related costs. In severe cases, unpaid fines can lead to suspension of registration or even a hold on vehicle renewal. That's why transport authorities are urging everyone, especially seniors who receive mail notices less frequently, to check their mailboxes regularly this month. Many drivers have been surprised to find penalty letters for offences they didn't even realise had been recorded. It's not just mobile phones under the microscope. The December 2025 changes include new expectations for vehicle condition, especially when it comes to roadworthiness. State inspectors have stepped up random roadside checks, focusing on things like tyre tread, brake lights, and emissions. A vehicle deemed unsafe or poorly maintained can now attract an immediate fine of several $1,000s. The reasoning, according to safety departments, is that mechanical failures remain a hidden contributor to crash statistics. So, while the $3,150 headline figure often grabs attention, it's actually just one part of a broader safety push covering both human behaviour and vehicle standards. For many Australians, especially retirees living on fixed incomes, this crackdown feels sudden. The $3,150 fine represents nearly 2 full fortnightly age pension payments. Community advocates are warning that seniors could be disproportionately affected, particularly those who drive older cars or who may not use smartphone apps that alert users to law updates. As one advocacy spokesperson put it, the goal of safer roads is absolutely right, but the communication must match the enforcement. Seniors can't comply with laws they don't know have changed. In response, state governments have promised targeted outreach, including information mailers, local radio announcements, and even short public service ads in senior-friendly time slots. The increased fines have also reignited debate about the fairness of Australia's road fine system. Critics argue that fixed-amount fines punish low-income drivers more severely than wealthier ones, since $3,150 is a massive burden for some but pocket change for others. Some European nations use an income-based system for penalties, where the amount scales with the offender's income level. However, Australian officials maintain that flat rates are easier to enforce and more consistent nationwide. For now, the $3,150 cap will remain uniform across income groups. Behind the scenes, insurers are also monitoring these developments closely. Traffic violation records can influence car insurance premiums, and several major insurers have already confirmed that serious distracted driving fines may lead to increased premiums or policy cancellations. Seniors who rely on limited-use car policies should review their coverage this month to ensure compliance with the new conditions. Even a single major offense could classify a driver as high risk, leading to hundreds of dollars more in annual premiums. Public reaction has ranged from frustration to cautious support. Many Australians agree with the goal of safer roads, but question the timing, as living costs and fuel prices remain high. Some worry that police may lean too heavily on automated enforcement, leaving little room for discretion. Others, especially families who've lost loved ones in crashes caused by distracted driving, say the new laws are long overdue. For them, the $3,150 fine is not excessive. It's a necessary deterrent to prevent further loss of life. Authorities are also reminding motorists that December 2025 brings other changes alongside the new fines. Speed limit adjustments have been rolled out in selected zones, especially near schools and hospitals. Failing to observe these new limits could compound penalties. The move aims to align local speed rules with updated infrastructure and pedestrian safety zones. Senior drivers should take extra time to notice new signage, as many regions have changed limits by as little as 10 kilometers per hour, enough to trigger a fine if unnoticed. As part of the broader safety initiative, the government has pledged reinvestment of fine revenue into community safety projects. Official statements suggest that funds collected from the $3,150 penalties will be channeled into road maintenance programs, traffic light upgrades, and public education campaigns. However, not everyone believes the money will be used transparently. Independent analysts have called for annual public reports detailing how fine revenue is spent. Transparency, they argue, is essential to maintain trust, especially when such large sums are being drawn from ordinary citizens. The rollout of these fines also coincides with a digital modernisation program for Australian transport services. Drivers can now receive digital fine notifications and view photographic evidence through updated service portals. This system aims to speed up appeals and reduce postal delays, but seniors unfamiliar with online systems may find it confusing. That's why local councils are encouraging older residents to seek assistance from family members or visit community centres that offer help with digital government services. For pensioners without reliable internet access, paper notices will continue to be issued, but with shorter response windows due to mailing timeframes. By mid-December, police across all states had already issued tens of thousands of warnings during the soft launch phase, followed by full enforcement from December 15th onward. Now, in late December 2025, those warnings have turned into fines, and many Australians are feeling the impact directly. Media outlets have reported spikes in fine payments and appeals, particularly around major cities. Legal experts are advising drivers to pay close attention to any notice dates, as missing an appeal window could forfeit the right to contest an error. With automated cameras now doing much of the enforcement, clerical mistakes can occasionally occur, but they must be challenged promptly through proper channels. The government has also introduced an educational companion program called Drive Aware 2026. This initiative aims to guide Australians through the updated regulations, with a focus on vulnerable groups like senior drivers, young learners, and delivery workers. Community centres are seeing increased attendance from seniors eager to clarify what the new driving laws entail. In Canberra, several pensioner associations have even arranged free information sessions where volunteers explain the updated fines and demonstrate safe driving habits. These sessions cover basics such as how to operate navigation systems hands-free, when it's legal to touch a screen, and how to spot new road marking patterns introduced this month. Participants are encouraged to refresh their understanding every 6 months as laws continue evolving with technology. December 2025 also introduces changes around parking enforcement. Certain metropolitan councils have aligned with the new federal framework, meaning local parking fines now escalate more quickly for repeat offences. While this might seem unrelated to the $3,150 headline penalties, it's part of the same safety reform package. Repeated illegal parking in high-risk zones, such as near pedestrian crossings or emergency vehicle access lanes, can now attract heavy fines under the obstruction category. Again, senior drivers who park near medical centers or shopping strips should double-check signage before leaving their vehicles. For regional and rural Australians, these updates have slightly different implications. Enforcement in remote towns may rely more on mobile patrols than automated cameras, but the penalty structure remains the same. Authorities emphasize that the $3,150 fine can apply anywhere in the country. It's not limited to city drivers. Farmers or retirees driving older utes on regional roads should also take note of new mechanical safety expectations, especially regarding lighting and tires. A failed roadside inspection could cost more than an entire vehicle is worth, so prevention through maintenance is key. At a broader level, these legal updates are part of Australia's Vision Zero 2030 plan, an ambitious goal to reduce road deaths to near zero within 5 years. Officials believe that harsher penalties will instill lasting behavioural change. The December 2025 package is just one stage of this long-term strategy. Future stages are expected to introduce mandatory vehicle telemetry systems, where cars automatically report speed and compliance data to transport authorities. While some Australians worry about privacy, government representatives insist that such technology is vital to saving lives and modernising road safety.